Hello, beautiful souls. This is Vinita Kumar, also known as Twinflameunion, bringing you guys in this week's pep talk and empowerment. Twin flame timelines. I know there's some videos out there on YouTube, and I don't believe that I've actually quite filmed something about this topic, but we're gonna dive deep into this topic. But before we actually begin, show reels. And welcome back. For those that are new to this channel, welcome. Please do not forget to hit like, share, and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so that you do not miss any future videos. I do have a lot of content in this channel, so you may want to check out my playlist that will facilitate almost everybody, even if you are not in a twin flame journey. I also want to add that if you want to book any private sessions with me, a link is in the description box, so you can purchase and book directly from my website. And I also want to add Thanksgiving to my friendly neighbors down south. They are celebrating Thanksgiving this weekend. Have safe holidays and indulge. You only get a few times of the year where you could actually do that, so do that. Enjoy with your friends and family or your loved ones. Have fun. And it's always nice to be thankful about something, so reflect on that part, what you are actually thankful for. I also want to add that on Friday, which is November 28th, I already did that in the community tab. I've already posted everywhere in my social media as well as here on YouTube. I will have 30% off on all my services and programs, so you may want to check that out. It's actually a very good deal. I really have sales, so this is a time to actually take advantage of that. It's a good discount, and that's 30% off. So the coupon code has been shared to everybody. Use it, book your sessions if you want. Coaching sessions are very, very helpful and insightful for a lot of people that are in the twin flame journey. Having said that, let's go into the topic. I actually made some notes here, and we are talking about twin flame timelines. What this actually means. Does this mean what you read about in articles, or you've heard it on YouTube? Everybody has a different variation of the timelines, but this is my take on it, just being in the journey for as long as I have been. So and also just watching everybody else be in the journey. So this is going to be my take. I did talk about in the last week about the purpose of twin flame. So if you haven't checked that video out, check that out. That should be in the recent videos. I have posted it up, and my blog just went up on the purpose of twin flames. That is my 100th edition of the blog. 100 articles are posted in my website. Can you believe that I actually managed to do that? This was while growing up. I read lots of books, and I'll just tell you a little thing here about how this journey can be very, very amazing. I used to always read romance novels. It was the thing that I always did, and I always wanted to, growing up, write a book on it, like a romance novel, you could say. It was a thing, and I was actually looking, researching, and whatever have you on how to go about doing it, that sort of thing. So that was a thing that I did back in the days. I really, really thought that I would actually write romance novels, and I don't know whether this is fitting or not, but here I am on my 100th blog, and I can't believe that is something that I've actually done. I guess it was there. A writer in me was always there, but yeah, it's just amazing how the journey can show you things that are meant to be in your soul alignment, and that's the whole purpose of this entire journey. I know that a lot of times I help people figure out what their soul purpose is, or what their journey is, what they need to kind of give back to the world as they have come in. They've come with special purposes. So yeah, it's the journey has so many different sides to it. It's not just all about meeting your twin flame and just that. There's so many other things that actually get incorporated in there. So at least that's what I teach, and I've just seen it with a lot of people. They've done so well, and you should be proud of yourself if you have found your calling in the in the middle of your awakening. Let people know in the comments so that they get inspired, because you as a twin flame, you are also an inspiration to everybody else around you. Make no doubt about that. It's your mission work will come in different forms and shapes, but it doesn't mean that whatever you are pursuing or want to do is anything less than what is. Not everybody is a spiritual teacher or a healer in the twin flame journey as a mission work. You could be doing something else that's just as profound. So yeah, just be mindful of that. You are special, and you'll always be. So let's go back into the topic here, which is why you clicked here. Twin flame timeline, so what this actually means. So first and foremost, a lot of people, it varies for everybody, and I'm just going to give a few scenarios because there's everybody that has their own story what that is. Some people, they always knew from childhood that they were a twin flame. That's just a very small portion of the people that I'm talking about that already knew that, and that's just because their own awareness of that fact was there, and their higher self helped them to make that awareness, right? But others, of course, is going to be different, and it varies. I've had clients that have that are in their 20s, and they know that they're in a twin flame journey. So that's very rare, but usually it's in your later years when you get to know about it, either in your 30s or in your 40s or 50s, right? Some people even much later. It all depends, and that's also a timeline. I've actually mentioned that in my previous video as well as in my blog that just got published. Timelines are very, very important when it comes to your own journey. Your higher self knows what's the best for you, so they will present things in different timelines based on just your own individualized journey. This is why I never understand some of the blogs that people write, or some YouTube videos on specific timelines, because there isn't really actually a specific timeline. If you are in a twin flame group, or if you are in touch with other twin flames, you'll know that your timelines are very different from theirs, and that's just what the uniqueness of everybody's own individual journey is. And this is why certain timelines are just not realistic. It doesn't make sense. So I don't teach timelines in that sense, but whatever I have in the for the purpose of this video will make sense to actually almost everybody, because this is going to be resonating. So the timeline for you yourself knowing that you're a twin flame is going to be very, very different. Some people will know that you're a twin flame, or in a twin flame journey, you're dealing with a twin flame after you've met your beloved, and that is for some of you. Others will be different. Some people will get their awakening, then they'll meet a catalyst twin flame, and then they will know that they're dealing with a twin flame, which is a false twin flame at that point, and then the real twin flame will start to kind of energetically start coming in your vibrational field, and this is why it's so confusing when you're dealing with somebody that feels like your twin flame, but it's actually not. So there's different ways that it will present, but that is one of the timelines that I'm mentioning is meeting your twin flame. So that is one. It doesn't matter whether your twin flame is in any sort of embodiment or not. You will definitely meet them either in physical form or in spirit form. Either ways, you know who you are, you know what your journey is like, but this is going to be one of the timeline. And it's not going to be in any order, so take whichever order this is coming up. It's just for the purpose of my video, I've mentioned it in a certain order, but that is not necessarily how it will present to you maybe in your journey. The other timeline is the awakening stage, which I kind of mentioned. Some people are born with that idea that they are a twin flame. Some people not so much. You only get that timeline embedded in your soul contract when you actually are in an awakening stage, where you've actually come to know about it. It's you're aware of it, it's in your awareness, that sort of thing. So that is another timeline that I'm mentioning, and that is the awakening stage. And you will know so many things. Awakening is not just suddenly you know things. There's floods of information that will start pouring in. You'll get ascension downloads. That's one of my really good, well-read article on my website, is all the symptoms that you get with ascension. Really important to actually look at that one too, because that will give you an idea that you are embodying your light body. It's and the thing is that even though you're a human being, some of these light type of energy is pretty hard on the body when you are actually downloading it. So this is why as healers, we will tell people to drink lots of water, make sure that you're eating pure food, not processed food, because that's gonna not, your body's not gonna like it. Whatever whole foods are, fruits and vegetables, right? Good protein. Make sure that you're, I don't say to people to eat organic. That's up to people if they want to eat organic, but or best would be to grow things in your in your garden, right? But not everybody has the opportunity to do that. But I'm just saying that just make sure that you guys are eating whole foods and not just those frozen things that you see in the food section of the freezer in the grocery stores, right? You can have some of that, but try to eat things that are fresh, whatever fresh is in your diet. And you'll find that it will really help for you to deal with your ascension symptoms. Some people become lactose intolerant, some people have other issues. Those are all just normal things that happen during that timeline, and that's very important. There was one time, believe it or not, and I'm pretty sure some people will have experienced that. I was having a hard time, Jesus. This was a few years ago when I was going through my ascension, and I felt very floaty. Like I was literally, it didn't feel like that I was actually planted on ground. And luckily I had a few people that had similar experiences during that time. So what I was told is, was to ground myself to a tree, with the roots, coils, or cords, right? That sort of thing. So I did that to just kind of stay grounded, because I really felt like I wasn't even walking on earth. I don't know what the heck I felt I was doing. I was just flying. And I wasn't having, trust me, I wasn't getting any, I wasn't using substance. So it was very natural. I did that. I even bonded with trees and stuff like that. That helps too. And then somebody also mentioned to me to eat root crops. So potatoes, carrots, right? That sort of thing. Anything that is grown inside, because that will help you to just kind of feel more grounded. And I actually did that, and that really changed the difference too. So if some of you are actually feeling that in some sort of timeline, apply that, because that's going to help. So we talked about meeting your twin flame, we talked about awakening, and we talked about the ascension symptoms that go along with the awakening. And in different timelines of your ascension, you'll find that you are entering into a different kind of light body, and it's because you're doing all this inner work. You are leaving the old self behind, and you're birthing the new version of you. So all that takes a lot of time, but then in different times of your journey, you'll see that that's gonna be very different from the old self that you have left behind, right? I mean, think about it. I do. I've been in this journey for almost 8 years, and just the person that I was 8 years ago, I was a different person to what I am now. So it just goes to show, and I'm pretty sure all of you will resonate there too, that you became a different person. And that's the whole point, because in different timelines, you actually decided to ascend even higher. And there is no such thing as going back. You'll never go back to their old ways. It's usually a one-way street. So that is something to just kind of understand and take in, because it's a lot for a lot of people to take in. Again, this journey is not for the faint-hearted, and you guys all know that. Another timeline is the separation timeline. After you meet your twin flame, you start to feel some sort of separation, and separation could be in physical form, or it could be just simply you having issues with your beloved in some ways of it could be karmics, or it could be just work stuff, stress. Sometimes it's also some sort of health conditions that come in. Sometimes they have to move away to another country, another city, that sort of thing. Or it could be just that you're having relationship issues where you two are now clashing on your beliefs and ideas and stuff like that. So there's many forms of separation, not necessarily just people when people have been ghosted or blocked, those are the separation. It's not necessarily that. Twin flames also feel separation during their relationship as well, if they are actually physically in a relationship. So that is another timeline. And then this is a very, very important one for everybody, is the timeline of inner union. Not necessarily this is the actual union with your twin flame. This is the inner union where you've actually done a lot of healing, done a lot of inner work, and now you feel you've embodied a different person, a different version of you. You've become who you were meant to become, and you've actually integrated your higher self with your 3D self, and now you've become one in consciousness. So it's quite profound experience, even that part as well, when you actually embody your higher self in your 3D reality. I mean, they are always there with you, but that particular embodiment that I'm talking about is actually an experience, and you will know what I'm talking about if you've received that kind of experience. So that is when you know that you've attained your inner union, when you are actually in peace with everything that is happening around you. You don't have too many triggerings of the 3D stuff, whether it's 3D stuff with your twin flame or just in general, where you feel more in harmony and in balance with everything in all aspects of your life, your health, your finances, your mental well-being, your physical well-being, your situation with your twin flame, that sort of thing, right? You'll even feel more harmony and balance with even relationships with other people, be it your colleagues at work, or your business partners, or your classmates, or your friends and your family, that sort of thing, right? So that is when you will feel the inner union. You'll feel that harmony, that balance, that peace that is within you. And then The next timeline is the twin flame union, and it's a false misconcept that is in the spiritual community that you cannot be in union with your twin flame. If it is in something that you see in your physical reality as a clairvoyant, or just simply knowing that you have a life with your twin flame ahead in the future, that means that those kind of things are not just there for decoration. They are there to tell you that that is going to be your reality. This is where it's really tricky, because of course a lot of people feel that you can you can predict that part, right? And a lot of people will go to readers, twin flame readers, or you know, what will watch tarot card readings and psychic readings and all that to know the timeline on that. I'll tell you this, nobody can tell you that. I've tried that in my own journey, where I've tried to ask and you always get the wrong timeline on that. So timeline is very, very different for everybody on that. But without any uncertainty, if you are seeing a future, however way it's being shown to you with your twin flame, that means that it is going to happen. When is it going to happen? That is for your higher self to only know, but it will happen for sure. So during the inner union, or even during the healing stage, there is another timeline that I want to mention for some of twin flames that decide to do dating with other people. And they do that because they have some exit points in the soul contract. I talked a little bit about soul contracts in my blog, in some videos, as well as in the last video. So it's important to understand your soul contracts. So if it is written in the soul contract where you want to gain some sort of other soul lessons, soul experiences, then what ends up happening is you decide to make an exit point from your twin flame connection, using your free will to do that. And there's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people do that. I know that I have been asked many, many times about whether twin flames should date others. Again, that's where that is, right? If you are being called to date other people outside of the connection, it's because it's written in your soul contract, most likely, and this is the reason why it's coming to you, right? And you'll have some really good relationships that will come in front of you. Think about it this way: you're doing all this inner work, you're in a high vibration. Of course, you're going to be magnetic. You're going to be attracting a lot of people around you because people want to be with you. And that's the same thing with love interest. There's going to be people that will want to be would want to be dating you or want to have a relationship with you. It's nothing unusual. It's because you are vibrating in such a level that there's going to be all sorts of people that would be interested in you in that sense. So and that's perfectly normal. It's up to you as your free will to exercise some of that if you want to. And also, some people will come also as part of that timeline to balance some sort of karma, some karmic ties, perhaps from previous lifetimes, or just in general, and that's just all part of the soul growth, soul lesson. So that is the exit point. And of course, a lot of times people will make that exit point, and if it's still written in their soul contract to be with their twin flame, they will come back to, they will make that exit point, get all the lessons, do all those kind of things, and then come back to their actual twin flame union. So it differs for everybody, just because everybody is on a different journey and they have a different soul agreement. They have different lessons that they actually learn or want to learn before they actually incarnated here, or they birthed here. So this is why I don't really go with timelines for a lot of people, because timelines are what you make it to be based on just what kind of inner work you're doing. It depends on your soul agreements, your soul contracts, and just much more. It's hard to give timelines to anybody, because it's not like we are in a journey where it's one size fits all. It's different for everybody, and the inner work that you do is your own specific needs and wants and what your soul wanted to do in this lifetime. So it's really important to understand that. Try not to focus too much on any timeline. Just go with the flow and then see what ends up happening. When you're actually focused on timelines on any of the areas that I've mentioned, what ends up happening is you will actually get stuck in that timeline. And that's really, really important to know, especially for those twin flames that are in separation. If you're going to focus always on the separation part of your timeline, it's going to keep stretching. So my advice to anybody that's in a twin flame separation of any kind, do not focus on that part. That timeline will just stretch then. There is the saying that what you focus on just grows, and that's what it is. So focus, if you are in that kind of timeline, you're stuck there, then try to focus on the twin flame union aspect, and the journey, which will then cut that timeline, the separation timeline. So with that, I know that my course is coming up pretty soon. It's going to get launched. I'm trying to push it. It's already mid-November. Well, it's towards the end of the November now. So I'm going to try to get it published for December, where that program will be up. And I haven't quite decided whether I will actually do a launch sale on it yet. I'm still working on it because it's a lot of work. So let's see where I am with that. But definitely before the year ends, it's going to be published. And that is how to manifest your twin flame. Again, if you are seeing that union with your twin flame in whatever shape or form has been shown to you, that means that there is a timeline where that will happen. So, and in that specific course, I actually teach how to understand all of those things, how to remove your limited beliefs, your self-concept, and much more, and how to heal on that level, because it's all, again, a transformation of the self. Nothing changes there. Stay blessed and have a really blessed journey. You know that I'm here all the time. I do blogs, I do videos. I'm here to help you guys in your journey. And of course, if you need any kind of specific coaching, specific advice on your journey, book a session with me. It's worth it.